Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful video planned for you today because we're going to be talking about Lyssandra. If you were lucky enough and pulled the Lyssandra, I'm going to walk you through where I've used my Lyssandra, where she's best, where she's not that usable, the type of gear you're going to want, the masteries, if she needs book, and really everything that you're going to need to know about this character. If you pulled her, congratulations. I use her pretty significantly and mostly in Fire Knight PvP. Well, we'll talk about all that, but she has a lot of really good uses. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you haven't already, as every subscription really helps out the channel. I actually do this full time. So really you guys just watching this video is keeping me alive. So I appreciate you, and let's get going with this video. Lyssandra is a character that if you pull, you should be fairly happy. She, in particular, has one thing around her that really drives her and that makes her good. I mean, okay, 3, 2. If you pulled Lyssandra, you should be fairly happy. Lyssandra is a character that is quite good, and the reason being is she really has one theme. She has one thing that really drives her, that makes her good, and that is, of course, her turn meter train. And we're going to be talking about all of the different things that make Lyssandra good, but let's start with the basics, which is gear. If you pull this character, what kind of gear should you be putting on her? Well, because of what we're going to be talking about with turn meter and speed and where she's good there, really the goal of this character is to make her as fast as possible with some accuracy. So if you notice my set, I have things like accuracy primaries, I have accuracy banners if you can get it. You know, so this is just speed here because of arena, we'll talk about later. Accuracy on the boots, and then I have like offset pieces that just have high speed, like I got 23 speed on the shield here, 18 here, and they don't have glyphs, etc. 20 on this weapon. So I have some high speed, and the reason that I'm doing that is because the only thing that really matters is how quickly you can get her to do her A2 and A3. So if we look at her A2 and A3, where are these moves? Well, the A2, it fully depletes the target's turn meter, and when fully booked is on a 3-turn cooldown. Obviously, if you go really fast, you can continue to deplete someone's turn meter, right? But then if you pair that with this move here, which is on a 4-turn cooldown when booked, it decreases the enemy, or I should say AoE decreases the enemy's turn meter by 30%. And yes, this does have a resistance and accuracy check, but it also gains turn meter of your team by 30% and gives you an increased speed buff. What this means is effectively you have 2 ways of reducing turn meter, and 3 ways of reducing turn meter if you take the mastery that reduces turn meter on your first basic attack against bosses that have the ability to have your turn meter reduced, as well as in PvP, where we don't really need to even discuss why turn meter reduction is good in PvP. If you do PvP, you would understand this as you've been on the receiving end. Now, if we move on to the aura, she also has ally speed in all battles, meaning she increases her speed once again. So before we even talk about the basic, the A2, the A3, and the aura are all based around speed, and I've been talking about the fact you want her to go really fast. I have her at plus 178 before the set bonus kicks in, so plus 182. Okay, then we have masteries here. And the masteries for me, what I did is I went really with just as much accuracy as I could get with things that would decrease turn meter, give me a chance to counterattack, yada, yada, yada. Now, if we go back here in terms of the skill, also she has a basic attack, which transfers all debuffs. This just happens. This isn't a percentage chance, which is wonderful. And this is great when paired with things like a counterattack, which once again works good in Fire Knight. But there's some really debuffs that matter there. Now, let's talk about this character here. Where exactly is this character usable? Why is she good? You know that you want speed on her is the focus. You want accuracy on her. You want these moves to be booked. The A1 doesn't matter if it's booked, and it only takes about 6 books to book her. She's also a good lead. So you know all that. Where is she good? So if we go into arena here, and we fight some teams that might particularly be difficult. Like if you notice this team right here, I beat this team, but then I forgot to record it, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and try this one here. And the reason she's good is that when you're fighting teams that are not Torment related, you can use like your Arbiter lead, which everyone gets Arbiter for free, right? If you end up doing all the missions. And then you can boost into her and then boost again. And if you pair the double boost with things like damage immunity, or not damage immunity, debuff immunity like my Lyssandra has, if they do have a Torment, you can boost your team into them and not have to deal with that debuff immunity, or the debuffs. So that way you don't get frozen and you can double boost into a Torment and get your guy up first. A lot of these people are really quick, and having that double boost will will make the difference for me, because their Sifi Rolos is just too quick or something, and I need a way to constantly drain their turn meter. The other problem is a lot of people have high resistance in Arena, so you're not really reducing people's turn meters often. That's why the high accuracy on Lyssandra comes into play. Now, the PvP is fairly obvious that she's going to be good here. I mean, this is what people talk about. I'll show you one more battle here. Just turn meter reduction, turn meter gain, and any kind of speed aura is always good in PvP forms. But like I said, when you're not fighting Torment. However, where I find myself using her the most, and most likely probably her best use, I would think, is actually in Fire Knight, which I'm going to show you directly after this battle. It looks like this battle won't take too much longer here. And also, I'm going to mention while we're in this battle, Rolos had a change to him that was not mentioned in the patch, which is that he no longer procs bonus turns off of counterattacks or charges. So I was wondering why my damage was so much lower when I was pairing with double Lankus and Longbeard. It used to be that every time I charged with that character, Rolos had a chance on basic to just grab an extra turn for free. Now he doesn't get that. He can't jump in with like the Uno skip card. Okay. And that's why my double charge team got nerfed heavily. Now, if we go into the dungeons here, this is really where she starts to shine. Personally, I believe Fire Knight is what she was really made for the most. If we put her in as the lead, okay, we're going to get an ally speed in all battles, and that way we can use her in the dungeons. If you don't have like a Ray or something, you can still get a speed boost, okay? But what I pair her with, and obviously you're not going to have this, okay? So this team that I'm showing here is not a real example for you. It's a well team, okay? But what I'm going to try to do here is get to the end, because I want to show you what she does once you get to the Fire Knight. Now, you could replace these characters with whatever, whatever your characters are, Hell, Kellers, whatever garbage you're using at the moment, okay? It doesn't have to be these legendary ones. What does matter is when you have Lyssandra. None of these characters here are like boosting your turn meter or anything. It's all just her. And what she does when we get to the Fire Knight, you're going to know this, which is what makes this team work. If I didn't have Lyssandra, this team actually wouldn't even work, hilariously enough. Because what she does is she pairs that A2 and A3 combo with as high a speed as you can get her with having good accuracy, so it doesn't get resisted against the boss. And then it's going to lock him out, meaning he doesn't get any turns at all. And that will allow your people to just stack, poisons and nuke him if you're doing it like me, or if you have Cold Hearts or Royal Guards or whatever it is you're using for the damage, right? You'll be able to use those characters because he's just never going to have a shield up. And this is where I personally believe Lyssandra shines the most. Here we go with the example. Because you can use her with whatever characters you have, and as long as you can break the first shield or the second shield, or you have to be able to break the shield once, right? Once you break that shield and Lyssandra gets a turn, like there's the shield down, right? So she gets a turn here. And, okay, so he's going to get another turn. We didn't get the decreased turn meter here. But once the shield's broken and she has her A2 or A3 up, on auto, she will automatically chew him down here. And if you have any character at all that you're using, you'll be able to just defeat the boss because he's not even going to get a turn. I mean, I guess you could use whatever just gets you through the waves quickly. Keep in mind, if you're locking out the turns, poisons and stuff don't work very well unless you have someone like Xavier to pop them, because now she's going to lock the turns out. Because he's not taking turns, so the poisons won't trigger. So if you do, see, there's the Energize. You use the Energize into the A2 combo, and now the boss simply will not have a turn for the rest of this match here. So if you are pairing poisons with like your Lyssandra, he's not going to be taking turns if you're doing this combo. And this combo only works when she's booked. But again, she only takes like 6 books. And you have to have, I think it's like 220 speed. So it's not crazy speed. You need like plus 100 and something for this to work. But if you do, in fact, get this combo, you can really use almost any character to beat the Fire Knight. And granted, the times might not be the fastest, and you don't have to have Xavier and all this. You could use, really, I suppose, whatever in here. I'll put a defense down, another defense down. You could, I don't know, just some garbage of Raz in because he's a freebie for most people. And then like a Cold Heart maybe, right? She actually doesn't have gear on it, but just as an example, okay? You could use something like this or whatever. And you don't even need Tomb Lord. You won't even have to do the Raz infusion. But you could use something like this, right? That once you get through the waves, you automatically win once you get to the boss. Defense down, weak, you'll make it go quicker. Poisons will be difficult because you can't pop them. But this is really her, in my opinion, her absolute primary use. and is where I've had the most enjoyment by far out of her. I've been using her when I auto-click Fire Knight to shoot through this Fire Knight, and it's by far the best way. Now, in terms of other dungeons, where is she really useful in other dungeons? Now, we do have that speed lead, so we can use her in other dungeons, but I don't know if I really recommend using her in places like Dragon, etc. You could throw her into the Ice Golem, because the Ice Golem actually can have its turn meter reduced, but he still gets that bonus turn when you reduce his health. So if you do it with the Ice Golem, it's kind of a weird pairing, because poisons will make him skip the bonus turn, but you can't really use poisons with it. So you end up having kind of like this wacky off team when you use an Ice Golem, which is why I've had better use out of her in Fire Knight, but she is completely usable anywhere that turn meter reduction or just speed is handy. And for that reason, she has an overall general use, and I would probably give her out of 10, I'd probably give her like an 8.5. She is a very usable character. She is someone you want to put books on. She is someone you want to build if you pull her. She is not someone that, in my opinion, you would spend lots of money chasing for, but she is someone that if you pulled her, you'd be significantly happy about, and you would want to build properly. And to just kind of recap here at the end as we're closing out, for if you don't want to rewatch the video for all that, the masteries I did were just high accuracy, really, as fast as I can get her, and I booked the A2 and A3, and I used her in Fire Knight and sometimes in Arena when I'm not versus a Torment, or if I have debuff immunity gear on. That's her in a nutshell. I hope this information was useful, helpful. In terms of clan boss, you can use her. I just wouldn't pair her with things like a counterattack, unless you're pairing her with like double counterattack. That way it's up more often, or you're pairing her with like a buff extender, as she will outrun the speeds of the counterattack. Even her paired with Relentless can be kind of interesting on other teammates. Like, you make her fast, but everyone else has Relentless. You constantly have them resetting too. There's been a few things I've noticed. I'm working on the speed team for Clan Boss as time allows. So I'm going to go ahead and get out now that Royal Guard and Tyrell video for the people that pulled him. Let me know if you like these guide videos, kind of a more breakdown of them. I don't do these too often, but some people have asked me to do more informative videos on some of the characters I own. And so this is me saying, you know what? Sure, I'm happy to do that for you. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Let me know what you would like to see next. I love you all, and have a great day at WhalePod.